Hey everyone, and welcome to Bible Wonderland. Get ready, because today we're diving into a truly magical, faith-filled story all about the walls that fell down. Long, long ago, the people of Israel finally reached the land God had promised them. But there was a big problem standing in their way. A giant city called Jericho. Now, Jericho wasn't just any city. Its walls were massive. They were so thick, you could probably drive a chariot on top, and so tall, they seemed to touch the clouds. From the ground, the city looked like an unbreakable fortress made of stone. The kids in the Israelite camp would look up and whisper, "How will we ever get inside?" Even the grown-ups were scratching their heads, wondering the same thing. Jericho seemed completely impossible to conquer. But then, God spoke to their brave leader, a man named Joshua. God gave him a plan, but it was a very strange plan. A plan that made the toughest, bravest warriors blink and look at each other in total confusion. God told Joshua, "I want you and all your armed men to march around the city once a day for 6 days. Have 7 priests carry trumpets made of ram's horns in front of the Ark of the Covenant. On the 7th day, I want you to march around the city 7 times with the priest blowing the trumpets. After that, give one long blast on the trumpets and have everyone give a loud shout." The soldiers were stunned. Wait, what? No swords, no ladders to climb the walls, no battering ram to smash the gates, just walking and shouting. It sounded crazy. But Joshua, full of faith, trusted God completely. He turned to the people and said, "This is God's plan, and if it's God's plan, it will work." So, on the very first day, they began. The entire army, with the priests and the ark, started marching. It was completely silent. The only sound was the shuffle of thousands of feet on the dusty ground. Up on the walls, the guards of Jericho watched them, scratching their heads. What was happening? On the second day, they did it again, marching in total silence. No talking, no fighting. The people of Jericho started to get a little amused. On day 3, 4, 5, and 6, it was exactly the same. The Israelites marched once around the city and went back to their camp. The guards on the walls of Jericho started laughing and mocking them. "Is this your big, scary plan?" they yelled down. "You're just going for a walk." But the Israelites didn't respond. They just kept their eyes forward and kept on marching, trusting God's strange instructions. Then came the 7th day. This was the big day. The sun rose, painting the sky in beautiful shades of orange and pink. Everyone woke up early, their hearts pounding with excitement and maybe a little bit of nervousness. Today was different. Today, they had to march around the city 7 times. So they began. Once, twice. The sun started getting hotter. 3 times. You could feel the anticipation in the air. 4, 5, 6 times around the huge city. Finally, after the 7th lap, they stopped. The whole nation of Israel stood facing the giant walls. Joshua raised his hand high. It was time. He gave the signal. The priests lifted their ram's horn trumpets to their lips, and then Joshua gave the command, shouting with all his might, "Shout, for the Lord has given you the city." Suddenly, the air was split by the loudest trumpet blast you've ever heard. And at the same time, the entire nation of Israel let out a massive, earth-shaking shout. It was a roar of faith, a sound of pure trust in God. And at that exact moment, the ground began to tremble. The giant stone walls of Jericho started to shake and vibrate. Cracks appeared, and then, with a deafening crash, stone after stone crumbled and fell. The mighty walls didn't just break, they collapsed completely, falling flat into a pile of dust and rubble. The impossible had just happened right before their eyes. The people of Israel cheered and celebrated, hugging each other with tears of joy. God's strange plan had worked perfectly. Joshua smiled, knowing that this was a lesson they would never forget. This incredible story teaches us a few amazing things. First, obedience to God can make miracles happen. Second, God's plans might seem weird or unusual to us, but He always knows what He's doing, and His plans are always for our good. And finally, real faith isn't just believing. It's about trusting and acting on that trust, even when we don't understand the full picture. When we trust God like that, He can help us overcome any wall in our lives. Thank you so much for joining me in Bible Wonderland today. If you loved this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next adventure. See you next time.